My daughter said the dog was too old to be around the baby. She said it kindly. She wasn't being cruel. She was being practical. Biscuit was 12. She had arthritis in her back legs and a cataract in her left eye, and slept approximately 18 hours out of every 24. She was a beagle mix we had gotten from the shelter 10 years before my husband passed, and she had been with me through every year since. She had met all 3 of my grandchildren as babies. She had been gentle with every one. But Helena, my daughter-in-law, was nervous. She was a new mother, coming home with my grandson Eli for the first time, and she was managing about 40 different things simultaneously, and one of them was a dog who might be too old to be reliable around a newborn. I understood. I did not argue. I kept Biscuit in the living room during the first day. Biscuit cooperated with this. Biscuit cooperated with most things. She ate her food, slept by the fireplace, and watched the proceedings with the specific calm of an elderly dog who has seen several generations of new arrivals and understands that the household reorganizes and then reorganizes back. She did not attempt to go upstairs. That first night, my son Marcus and Helena had Eli in the bassinet in their room. I was in the guest room at the end of the hall. Biscuit was in the living room where she slept. At 2:15 in the morning, I woke to the sound of her on the stairs. She had not managed stairs in 6 months. Her hips had made them difficult, and we had not pushed it. She had everything she needed on the first floor. But at 2:15, she was on the stairs. I could hear it, the slow, deliberate click of her nails on the wood, the slight pause between steps that her hips required, working her way up. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I got up. I went to the hall. Biscuit was at the top of the stairs, catching her breath. She walked to the guest room, to me, and stood at my feet. Then she turned toward the direction of Marcus and Helena's room, then back to me, then back toward the room. I went. Eli was fine. He was in his bassinet, breathing normally, face peaceful. But Helena was not fine. She was sitting up in bed, white-faced, one hand over her mouth. She had been awake. She had been having, she told me later, the worst panic attack she had experienced since before the pregnancy. The kind where the chest closes and the thoughts become circular, and the awareness that you are not managing your own mind is itself a cause of further not managing. She had not wanted to wake Marcus. She had been sitting with it alone for 40 minutes. I sat on the edge of the bed. Biscuit came and put her head on Helena's knee. She stayed there until Helena's breathing steadied and her hands unclenched. She stayed there until the sky began to lighten. Then she got up, walked back to the hall, and went to the top of the stairs and looked at me. Has your pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. I helped her down the stairs. She went back to her spot by the fireplace and slept until noon. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Helena told me afterward that she didn't know how Biscuit knew. I told her I didn't know either. What I know is that a 12-year-old beagle climbed stairs she had not climbed in 6 months to find me so I could sit with my daughter-in-law in the dark. I know that when I got there, Biscuit put her head on Helena's knee and did not move until the crisis passed. I know that Helena has loved that dog with a fierceness ever since that has nothing to do with arthritis or cataracts or 18 hours of sleep per day. Some things you love for what they can do. Some things you love for what they knew to do when it mattered. The next story is about a golden retriever who started waking up a grandfather at the same time every night for 2 weeks, and the appointment his wife finally insisted he make.